bowling is because they do have a left-hander at the crease, and that's one of the things.
Start from Markram. Just the one run without loss. Yeah, no good. Slips and yeah, up, and I'm okay is what he said. Yeah, just checking it out.
See, Lungi and Gidi up to take the second over. I would have been really tempted to give it to Bjorn Fontaine. Just completely changed the whole expectation. Getting spinners to operate from both ends, it just would give the Australians something more to think about.
Yeah, particularly with Bjorn Fontaine being somewhat of a specialist at bowling in the power play. Here's Ngidi. And it's a bit of swing in just the same way as we saw with Marcus Stoinis in the previous game when he came out to bowl, when the Australians came out to field. He got it to shape. Watching, chatting a whole lot. Shukri Conrad, Test coach, and Ashwell Prince, former captain, former player, dug out some runs for South Africa. What a shot. Wow. Just getting tall and on the tips of his toes to hit it at the top of its bounce, just forced it away for four. Magnificent batting.
That is some shot. I mean, it's not a bad ball by any means. Almost told the stumps is exactly where you want the bowlers to bowl, but that was a dismissive full shot from him.
Pace off. Good fielding too. Not allow that past and not allow for a second run. The bowler a chance to go at the next batter. That was a shot now, actually.
Yeah, I mean, this T20 cricket has just changed the MCC batting manual. There's a few pages that just got added to the manual.
Some pages were torn out, I think. Said forward something here. It's changed now.
I have to say, I've spoken to many coaches who are coaching at the lower level, and it becomes very difficult for them to coach these youngsters to, you know, hit the, you know, with a straight bat, playing the ball, keep the ball on the ground. It's become almost impossible to coach these guys because they're watching batters just hit the ball for sixes and fours, and they just want to keep going at it. You just got to keep encouraging these kids. It's almost like six. First option is hit a six. Second option, hit a four. And if you can't get that, well, take whatever runs on the ground you can get. And that's quite the opposite of what we were taught when we were growing up.
Quiet start for Australia. Yeah, just 10 balls in. But to this point, contained, just a single boundary. And now to close the over out. Yeah, he's saying, come on, can you turn it off, please? Yeah, trying to fox the umpire. Appealing down the leg side, it's wide. Umpire Aludin Palika, none of it. Experienced man. Fielded. There's a nice shot too. Driven on the up, but no runs.
Lungi Ngidi has taken the pace off quite a few deliveries in this over already. And I think it's signs of things to come for the South African team, where they've maybe had a chat and said, you know what, the most difficult balls to face are the slower balls. Certainly after every innings, or when you do bat first, you don't get together as a team, and the bowlers come to the batters and they ask the batters, tell us, what was the difficult balls to face? And they probably just said, you know what, pace off was difficult.
Fielded. Oh, hit. Oh. Decided belatedly he was going and made it in the end. 2 down, it's 8 without loss. They might well have made it, you know, even if it hit. Let's have a look. Nah, it wouldn't have. He'd have been miles gone.
If it was you and I, Pommy, we might have made it.
Nimble. Fleet of foot. Shot. Yeah, really well played. Had to maneuver himself to get himself in the position where he was gonna get it away no matter what, and did for 4.
Great shot, great shot. Good delivery, top of the stumps, a little bit leg side, but that's still a good ball, cramping the batter up. But to manufacture that shot, amazing.
Good contest, I like it, and many a time the second over for spinners who will open the bowling in the power play, that's the tougher one if they get away with the first. Shot. An easy put away that for Head with the width there. He can just throw the hands at it.
Smart batting from Travis Head. What we didn't see, or what we didn't highlight, is that he came down the wicket earlier. So what happens as a bowler, you then start to think, oh, this batter's coming at me, so I need to drop the ball a bit short. And it opened up the offside for Travis Head.
Shouts of catch it. There's enough bats on it to get it over mid-on. Away for 4.
Great batting. Great intent. Is now coming every ball at him. As you said, probably the second over for a spinner in a power play is very difficult to bowl, because the batter is going every ball. He's trying to do something.
And at the beginning of the game, we're talking about intent and what you've got to do. You can't wait for the bowlers to give you something. You make the play as the batting side in the power play, and Travis Head doing a great job of it here.
Oh, yes.
He got 3 away for boundaries. 20 without loss. Twenty without loss, Australia in pursuit of 165. It's a good start. And the momentum has sort of picked up after a quiet start. Markram over of 1 to begin the game, and then just been taken for 12. Ngidi went for 7. Here's Gerald Coetzee.
Gerald Coetzee, a really exciting bowler, one of the talents that South Africa are producing, and We saw it in the SAT 20. The pace, the heavy ball. We always talk about the heavy ball. What does it mean? Excuse me. What does a heavy ball mean? It's not like he's bowling with a dumbbell or anything like that. It's the same ball. It's just that when the ball reaches the batsman, it feels like a dumbbell.
Wow! No dumbbells there. He's done a few for his biceps. It's gone for 6.
I think that was a golf ball, honestly. The way he's hit that, that's like a drive down the center. Oh, fantastic shot. 92 meters, huge. That's huge, Bobby. 92 meters on the coast here in Durban. Oh, it's equivalent to at least 120, I think.
You miss your length, he goes at it. Generally does anyway, Matty Short. Oh, ouch. It's something that is introduced into his game, Gerald Coetzee, and he's a young guy still trying to develop, so continually adding skills, a slower delivery, and not shy to bowl it, and controls it well here.
Yeah, skillfully bowled, very skillfully bowled. We saw in the first game where he bowled a few slow balls, and they were like Yorkers type of length slower balls. Now he's gone for the shorter, slower ball. I'd love to see the quick bumper now.
He's listening to you.
What do we know, Pom? When people ask if I wasn't going to be a batsman, what would I have been? I always felt I had an alter ego for fast bowler in me, so maybe that's just come out, and that's the feeling I also get riled up after somebody tongs you for 6.
You only get given what you can handle. You would have been dangerous, too dangerous. Beautifully bowled. Would have been close to get through for singles, to try and make sure that the scoring rate stays up. Use this power play. Let's have a look how close. He'd have been fine. Yeah, nicely constructed over that. 28 without loss. Oh, have a look. There you go. A finger-licking good delivery. And David Miller on hand to pick up the bucket. Loves it. .28 without loss. Lazard Williams into the attack. Yeah, been around the fringes a lot. He's a good bowler, Lazard Williams. Skids on. Shot. Very clear on what he's going to do, Travis Head, and commits fully.
It's easy to be clear, Pommy, in the fifth over for power play when you're 0 wickets down. I think you speak to any batsman, in their mind they're just thinking boundary, boundary, boundary. You haven't lost a wicket yet, so every ball feels like a free hit because you've already set a base of 28 runs and the game's moved on, but you can now go really hard at the opposition.
He's done really well to actually stop himself there, because normally Normally, that's you gone onto the ground. You watch his back foot there. That is you totally gone. That's a great effort.
How did he do that?
No idea. No idea. Nicely bowled. Hit the pitch harder. Pulled it back.
The other crazy one for me was I've seen some bowlers who would bowl a no ball, but would hold onto the ball as the umpire called no ball. I know Maurice looking at me thinking, oh, come on, Ash, you're talking nonsense here. But I've seen it. Guys actually hold on. I think it was Friedel de Wet. He held onto the ball. Umpire would say, no ball, but he's got the ball still in his hand. Quite amazing.
In the air, out. Hit back of a length really hard that time for a second time in a row. And ahead trying to go again at him to hit him over the top. Couldn't do it. One down.
Ball Zard Williams, he kept it, he hit the length hard. They always say hit the length hard. He hit the length hard, made Travis Head try and hit a good ball over the top and held out till Mudon. Travis Head goes for 18, 32 for 1.
Australia's captain. That 92 not out to the previous match. Player of the match for his efforts. Leading right from the front. Came off just 49 balls. Looking to repeat the dose. Beautiful delivery. First up, a bit of shape as well. Just about opened him up. And it's been a good over so far. Here's the wicket ball.
Here's the wicket, a hard length, top of the stumps. He advanced himself down the wicket a bit to give himself room. Rizad Williams kept his line really tight, high on the bat, and nice catch at mid-on. It's never an easy catch. There's lights that will come into your eyes, and sometimes you got to have good fielders at mid-on, Pommy.
But this has been an over where you were talking of pressure or clarity of thought for batters. For a bowler, there is the pressure of the knowledge that it's the power play in your come at your first, and things have generally been okay. So there are going to be shots played, and his decision here has been back of a length and hit it really hard. All 5 deliveries have been there. The first one went for 4, so to back himself and still stick in there has been really good. Excellent thought process and really good execution too from Williams. 32 for 1.
What I noticed when Sean Marsh was facing there, they had a deep square out and a deep mid-wicket out. I'm not quite sure it's a great message to send. I think when somebody comes to the crease, even though as a new batsman, the best thing that you can have is actually to get an easy one. I think what they could look to do is to keep the pressure on, because the game's in the balance right now. Australia have not got onto a flyer by any means, and the game's in the balance, and Lungi's now got a big over here.
What a shot. Just the leverage he has. those levers so long and easy as you like over cover.
Lungi got it wrong there. It's just the width that was the problem there. Allowed him to extend his hands. Oh, lovely. Lovely flow of the hands through the ball, getting it over the top. Beautiful shot.
This time leg side, there's a fielder there, but he can only watch as it sails for 6. Matthew Short turning it on.
Lungi touched straight, overcompensated from the ball before. Great shot. Oh, that pickup. When the ball hits the middle of the bat, that feeling you get seeing it sail over the boundary. Oh, it's a beautiful feeling for me.
Sure it is.
Did you hit any equally?
Not one. Just over. A lot of hope in the crowd as this goes up. Shortest man on the ground, and oh, just over. Yeah, close. That close. Didn't quite middle that. So won't go to the fence. But for me, this has been a really good example of, despite the length bowled being good, despite the deliveries generally by and large, unlike the previous game where there were many a bad ball bowled and they just whacked all over the place, it's a good example of a team looking to force the issue and looking to have good intent playing shots. Here he goes again. Short. For a couple more. What an over this is. Started with 4 and 6 and then doubles for the next 3, so 16 off with one delivery still to go. Over and 4, began with a 4, finished with a 4, 20 off the over. A good power play, really good for Australia, 52 for 1. Yeah, easy pickings. What you're looking for here is the width. Too wide generally in the over. Anguish for Lungi Ngidi. And with how well the 5 overs prior had gone, he'd be disappointed with how he's bowled that final one.
Time for a change of pace. I think South Africa need to try something different, and that's Tabraiz Shamsi who will be introduced. He'll be bowling to the bigger leg side boundary. He's got some impressive stats, 75 wickets, averaging just under 22. Economy pretty impressive in this format. 33 years of age this evening. South Africa could do with a few wickets. Straight away a sweep and well run through for a quick single. It's going to be interesting to see what Short does. 33 of 16, 3 4s, 2 6s, striking at over 200.
Oh, ball, Samuel.
Yeah, you almost feel that the Australians have done the bulk of the work in this chase in the first 6. As you said, Polly, it'll be interesting to see how the Australians take it on. Do they carry on going ultra aggressive? They have to knock it around for a bit and get on top completely.
Once it's given air these days in the modern T20 matches, it's just downtown. Slightly over pitch, they back themselves, they hold their shape, they've got immense power, they don't even have to use their feet, they just stand and deliver. And he does it brilliantly.
Well, there's my answer, Polly. And as you said, you can't give any air as a spinner these days. Matt Short learnt that in the first innings. Tabraiz Shamsi will be upset with himself for giving that step ball to the in-form man, the Australian captain.
Yeah, the tendency now from Shamsi is when he suffers, he tends to drag the odd one down, so he'll be trying to hold his nerve. Very sweet, gets away with the dot delivery. Comparison, South Africa were 50 for 4 at this stage, Australia 60 for 1. So they're well ahead and only the 1 wicket down. Appeal from Tristan Stubbs, but I fear it's just in more hope than anything else. I don't think he's convinced, but we are going to send it upstairs and have a look-see.
And ball. Can you move on to your side on angle? Side on angle. Ball taken cleanly. Foot grounded beyond the popping crease as the bails are dislodged. I'm ready to make my decision for the big screen.
Yeah, we did see Tristan Stubbs as he was waiting for this, just shaking his head to his fellow players saying, no, I don't think it's out. Comfortably back in the end. But a good delivery from Shamsi. The length he hit was superb.
Oh, Samuel!
A single of the last delivery, so 9 from the 7th over. 61 for 1. The Worms. Australia starting to surge ahead, just the 1 wicket down, and it's going to be a double dose of spin. Bjorn will be introduced. It's a bit of an unusual role for him. He's kind of normally had an over or 2 in the power play. Murray before he gets introduced in this T20 format. He was impressive in the SA20 for sure. Here's his T20 international career, 15 wickets. Decent economy rate, good average. And that's his real attribute. You think it's going to turn, but he's got that ability just to slide it on.
Yeah, quite a good competitor. Bjorn Fontaine doesn't shy away from a battle. But yeah, I think you're spot on, Polly. Possibly the left-hand, right-hand combination for Aiden Markham to start, but he's been excellent with the new ball over the years.
Gives that one a little bit of air. It's dragged, and it's actually going to be dragged perfectly by 6 the 2 fielders on the boundary. It wasn't the best of contacts. It was a bit of a mo to the leg side, but effective.
Yeah, Mitch Marsh using those big strong arms he's got. It's muscling it through mid-wicket. Not the cleanest of strikes, as you said, Polly, but it's that length again. It's that length that needs to be pulled back by the spinners.
Oh, yeah, PJ.
Yeah, the first delivery was 94 kilometres per hour. The second one that went for 484. And then deciding to go for the quicker option again, third time out. 98 kilometres per hour. So it's going, I think it could be quite flat deliveries we're going to watch. That one's given air again, and that one disappears to the boundary again. So anytime he's given it a little bit of air, he's been put under immense pressure.
Yeah, Bjorn Fontaine wouldn't be happy with that one, given the width. As it stands, two good balls in this over. And the end saying it, it's a pretty good shot from Mitch Marsh, getting nice and low. He's a tall man on top of the bounce and it's carving it through point for another boundary.
Thatcher again, and that's wonderful timing through the cover region. And that'll be the third boundary of the over. Mitchell Marsh, he was slow to get going, but ever since Fontaine's been introduced, Marsh has started to cut loose.
And Mitch Marsh showing his class. We've seen the bludgeon across the line, we've seen the cut, and then we see the cover drive. That's a man in form and leading from the front yet again for his team.
And that was the quickest delivery of them all, 99 kilometres per hour that time. Given air, and that's going to disappear. Deep in wicket, is there a one-handed catch in the crowd? No, it goes down, but it's a quality over for Australia. And backing up the last one, 18 off this one, 79 for 1.
लो बैग वो गया आपका 5 किलो आटा पूरा। रमेश भाई की तोल तो पूरे हिंदुस्तान में मशहूर है।
भैया 1 किलो भिंडी देना।
In a short wicket, comfortable single, worked away short. Just a few words to Bjorn Fontaine. Not too sure what that is all about. Mitchell Marsh.
Never a quiet contest when South Africa and the Australians get going in a game of cricket, or any sport for that matter. Showing his dominance at the moment, Mitch Marsh.
That's a good start to the over by Shamsi. Just to stem the flow a little bit. We'll be hoping for a risky shot from Mitchell Marsh and maybe break this partnership.
So anything, Polly, when you're a player, an established player in an international side, if you get given the captaincy, do you think that you raise your level automatically, or with that added pressure, do you think your game gets slightly stronger? Or?
Well, I think it goes down to pride of performance from a captaincy perspective. You take the leadership, you want your team to do well, you want to play your part.
Oh, beautiful, Shamsi.
Smeared, and they're looking to come back for the second. And they decide to. Temba Booma's got a good arm, but they do get back coming. He brings up the 50 partnership, just 26 deliveries, and 82 for 1.
Get us one here, Shamoy.
That's nicely played again. Shamsi, you hear the scream of disappointment. Such a good over up until that last delivery. A drag down, had plenty of time, and Marsh does not miss out. Beautifully timed. 86 for 1.
And that's what happens when you've got a man hitting it as sweet as Mitch Marsh. The consistency of length, the consistency of line. So with the pressure moments, you need to be better. Bowling the googly to Tabraiz Shamsi. But again, another excellent shot from Mitch Marsh, pouncing on anything loose. Australia on the charge.
Yeah, you talk about Mitchell Marsh and taking on the art of responsibility of captaincy. He hasn't been dismissed as Australian captain as yet. He's 92 not out in the first game. Off to 32 not out this time around. And no surprise, Hayden Markham deciding to go back to one of the faster bowlers. Saad Williams, 1 for 4. That's a good start. Oh, there could be a run out as well. Direct hit. It's Bjorn Fontaine who kind of hesitated there. He wasn't sure where to throw. There was confusion in the middle. It was a yes-no. And eventually, Mitch Marsh got himself a long way down. Fontaine picked up thinking he could shy at the batter's end and then adjusted his sights on the bowler's end. But in the end, Australia actually get back comfortably. This is the whole way. Another chance for one-handed catch, and down it goes again. Quality striking.
Yeah, Lazard Williams, it's almost a half chucker. It wasn't too short. If you're going to bowl that short ball, it's got to get higher than that. And Matt Short obliging. It's been a bit quiet in the last few overs. Didn't miss out on this occasion.
Yeah, down ball short to Matthew. That's nicely played as well. Just a single this time. That's wonderful timing. The thing from Short's perspective is he'd want to go and get a big score here. He wouldn't want to throw it away. He's been guilty. We watched him a couple of times in the RPL where he got a decent score and then chucked it away, or decent start, should I say. Tonight he's got himself 42-21, striking at 200. There's no real need to take risks. They're well ahead of where they need to be. The required rate is now under 7 and over. He can just stay with his captain, give himself a big score. This could be a chance. Temba Bavuma. Oh! Brilliantly anticipated. He charged in, launched himself forward. He'd be disappointed in the end. He had almost done all the hard work. I don't know if he managed to get his hands fully underneath it. That was electric from Temba Bavuma.
Yeah, he moved brilliantly, Temba Bavuma. It's always difficult diving forward to take a catch. Oh, that's fingertips away. He'll be disappointed with that, but that's a great effort.
He took a really good catch on Wednesday evening down at Long Off. This one was deep mid-wicket. It's sometimes very difficult to pick out the trajectory and where it's going to end up, but he anticipated well, did Bavuma. You see the disappointment in his eyes there. It would have been a big wicket for South Africa. They needed something. They're under the pump. There's another classy shot from Matthew Short. He really does look accomplished when he works the ball through the offside.
Polly, were you comfortable diving forward to catch a ball, or were you a parachute man yourself? And when I say parachute man, you pull the parachute and jump backwards.
Well, I think you always wanted to try and go. You wanted to try and execute the catch, and Jonty Rhodes always said to us, if you don't go for it, you'll never know. So you didn't want to, if you didn't go, if you pulled the parachute, you didn't want to look in Jonty Rhodes' direction. And that's a little bit of width, opens the face, ends the over with the boundary. Over goes for 13, 99 for 1. Just a little bit of width, trying to cut his fingers across it. 120 kilometers per hour, up and over. Marsh not trying to roll his wrists, wanting to go airborne. And that's beautifully played.
Well, they've got it down to 6.6 and over. That is a breeze, really, with 9 wickets in hand. Matty Short is on strike, and we're going to head down to Cas Naidu.
Mark, thanks very much. It's time for a chat with one of the fans in the KFC Bucket Service Lounge. We've got Faraz Jasset with us. Are you enjoying your experience here?
Yeah, I'm really loving it, Cass. It's such a great experience, such a great view from the box as well. Just happy to be here. It's fantastic.
Tough situation to find your team in. How good is this Australian side despite missing some big stars?
Yeah, no, they just seem too strong, unfortunately. But yeah, the Proteas are giving it a go. Hopefully they can come back.
T20 cricket has changed the game so much, hasn't it? I think one of the big things is bringing fans closer to the game. How important is that to get closer to the next generation?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think this is only going to grow from here. It's good for the future as well. Good for the youngsters and that as well. And yeah, T20 is definitely the future.
Well, enjoy the rest of your experience here in the KFC Bucket Service Lounge. South Africa looking for wickets. We'll take you back tomorrow.
This bowling is just off. If we're really honest about this, it's wayward compared to the Australians, who hit hard lengths around off stump consistently. Got the ball to seam a bit actually early on, and South Africa just haven't been as accurate as they would want to be. I wonder how imposing it is to bowl at these Australians. 4 more. Too much width. Leg side, then wide of off.
Just too much of width as yet. I think the length hasn't been that bad, but the variety of the line has just been, it's been too much. Right off it off stump, towards legs, down the leg side. And I think with the Australian team, that's confidence is running really high. They're going to latch onto any bad ball. To see it well outside of stump.
.60 needed from 58 balls. Once you get it to a run a ball in this short form of the game, it's considered within your grasp. Pretty comfortable too. The South Africans were 83 for 4 at this stage, so there's the gap between the sides. 105 for 1 now. The Australians, another powerful hit to the boundary, so too short this time. And Gerald Coetzee, who's normally a man to turn to in a crisis, a man with a huge heart, a man for the trenches, not quite on his game here. .50 for Matthew Short. He's played really well, more within himself. His shot selection's been terrific. Very good innings. There's a modern picture for you of a pull off the front foot. Ball just sitting up, not bowled at any fearsome pace. 127 indeed, that ball, 127 kilometers per hour. Well, this will be an over that Gerald Coetzee will want to forget. It's as simple as that.
Another loose ball. I think he attempted Yorker here, ended up being a type of knee-high full toss and just helped along its way by Short. Just got to get a little bit of bat on it, and it's going to race away to the boundary. One of the tactics that the South Africans could have implemented, given the situation of the game and not a lot of runs to defend, is almost try and get the Australian batsman to hit the ball down the ground of a good length. So you drop a fine leg back.
It'll take some stopping, and it won't be stopped. 4 consecutive boundaries to go with a couple of wides. Still a ball to come in the over.
Gerald Coetzee has got enough pace to rush any batsman in the world. Given that tactic, if you bring mid-on up, drop a fine leg back, it allows the bowler to attack the batsman a little bit more. You don't have a lot of runs to play with, so you have to go really hard and aggressive at a batsman to make him make a mistake. At the moment, the Australians are just on cruise mode, hitting the loose balls that are coming. Some sort of tactical change that they've got to have.
Well, oh, that's a great shot. Picked it up. swung with the length. Australia are racing to victory. 1, 2, 3 for 1.
Man, oh man, that is a great shot. The length is just a decent length again. Not too short, it's just length back. Front foot slightly out of the way and just got his hands to the ball to hit a beautiful 6 over mid-wicket.
For the summary of this game, 164 for 8. Australia 1, 2, 3 for 1, and still with 54 balls to make the 42 runs required. The pitches have been terrific in these two games. Had plenty of carry through to the keeper, nice even bounce, and a little bit in it for the bowlers, particularly with the new ball. I do wonder, Hash, you know, that was quite a pounding the other night. 227 runs, and we do we? What do we have in the crowd there? There's cheers for a catch. Someone put his arms up, but I don't think anybody's clung on one-handed.
Yes, Mark. If there was no scarring from the first game, there certainly is scarring now. This type of brutal strength that the Australians have shown, they've put the South Africans under tremendous pressure. It's going to take something really special from the South African side to change up this momentum that the Australians have got.
That one, Temba Bavuma didn't quite pick up, actually. It went flat coming out of the crowd. And the one before that he ran in for and sprinted and threw himself forward was a great effort. He picked it up early. That one hit flat and hard. He didn't. Pretty difficult chance. And that takes a record partnership now from this pair for the second wicket for the Australians against South Africa. Partnership of 99 coming in 44 balls. Great stop. Spring in his boots.
Adam Mokhtar, one of the best South African fielders, sprung on that like a leopard. Let's have a look at that. Oh, that's amazing fielding. Saves at least 2 runs.
Oh, bold boy.
100 partnership beaten by the pair. Very convincing performance. Mitchell Marsh is in the form of his life. His footwork in this innings has been excellent. We think of him as a front footer, big driver of the ball, but no, he's sprung back, he's marched forward, he's made life very difficult for all the bowlers. Matthew Short's played beautifully at the other end, and they put on 100 in just 46 balls with 11 fours and 6 sixes. And that'll be out. Well bowled to Tabraiz Shamsi. He'll be very relieved and very pleased. Matthew Short goes for 66. He takes the route back to the dressing room.
Yeah, well bowled from Tabraiz Shamsi. He took the ball a little bit outside the eye line of Matthew Short there, asking him to reach for the ball. Got him to splice it high up. Lovely catch by it. If you come attacking it like that, 66 of 30 balls. Amazing knock, in Australia 132 for 2.
Josh Inglis out in the middle now. Josh is a very good ball striker himself. Picked to wicket keep here instead of Matthew Wade. I think the Australians are getting a good look at as many players as they can. They'll tighten up. They'll be, obviously, with the World Cup warm-up matches coming over 50 overs. Guys like Pat Cummins and others are arriving to play their part in those 5 games to come. One more of the T20s here in Durban, and then we move to Bloemfontein before heading up north to Centurion and Potchefstroom and the Wanderers. All the South African fans are wondering why Tristan Stubbs wasn't looking to catch that ball. I think it came straight off the knee of the pad. It's just too short. He has pummeled it. It's a quick outfield anyway, but as I say, this inconsistency tonight of length, but line specifically, as Hashim pointed out, but length too has been the great disappointment for South Africa.
That was clubbed really hard in that gap between mid-wicket and long on. Anything Mitchell Marsh is touching seems to go to the boundary. Just the brute strength of him, the gap.
Only 29 needed now.
Ball, PJ.
That's a good length. That's a better length, and that's the length that Bjorn Fortuin usually bowls. At his peak, he's wicket to wicket. That's 50 for Mitch Marsh.
Yeah, it is a good 52. He's played every bit as freely as he played 2 nights ago. He's in a nice run of form. He's relishing the captaincy of this side. It's a great honour for him. He's always seemed like the young guy waiting to happen. Well, he's 31 years old now, and he is happening.
Oh!
Well bowled, Bjorn. That's the area he's looking, wicket to wicket. One of Bjorn Fortuin's great skill is to keep the ball on the stumps. So if the batsman makes a mistake and you're looking to hit the stumps or hit his pad. Today, the South African bowlers have been a tad off. Just the lines have been quite erratic.
Oh, BJ, that's so good, boy.
This is a much better over than we saw previously from Bjorn Fontaine. A boundary off the second ball, that short ball, but other than that, 2 dots and 2 singles.
Oh, BJ.
It's 139 for 2.
ये हैं प्रेम बाबू। बहुत दिनों से बोनस अनलॉक करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। जब कुछ नहीं मिला तो इन्होंने सोचा कि उल्टा लटक कर देखते हैं, शायद बोनस अनलॉक हो जाए। लेकिन इतना कष्ट उठाने का कोई फायदा नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि अगर देना ही होता तो लॉक ही क्यों करते।
अब ये तो होगा ही, क्योंकि सीधा सीधा बोनस तो सिर्फ खेलो यार ही देता है।
अगर बगैर किसी कष्ट के फौरी बोनस चाहिए तो खेलो यार पे खेलो, क्योंकि खेलो यार जो कहता है वो करता है।
Getting going in partnerships, going on to scores of 60 or 70 rather than 30 or 40. That's one thought, and another is this line bowling. We saw that the Australians were very tight to off stump through the whole of the innings, really, but South Africa have been pretty wayward. Up, and away is the story of the day.
What a poet. And you don't even know it, Mark. Great shot by Mitchell Marsh. Ball in the slot. Great slog sweep. Dropped again. The crowd need a bit of practice, I think, pre-game.
And again, he hasn't really got that one, but it's 6 more. This is a powerful and stunning performance, a statement performance by Mitchell Marsh and his Australian team.
Indeed, they're just pounding the pressure on the Proteas. Yeah, I think on the point that you made, Mark, was the batting front. I wonder if the South African team, in this innings particularly, got caught up in the aggressiveness of the Australians. Instead of sticking to maybe what their game plan is of getting a good score, they all came very hard, anticipating a 200-run score. and then you lose your wickets. It may not be the way that you score runs, and you try and eliminate the opposition.
Well, Chamo.
Yeah, you mean that there's another way for South Africa to do it? They don't have up front these huge men with their ball striking ability, and they can build a score rather than necessarily rush at a score. These are all the 6 hits coming leg side. Starburst of them, and just one over extra cover. What a great hit that was, by the way. Same for them the other night, all their 6s leg side bar 1. Certainly they've got a lot to think about because they've been outplayed royally in these 2 matches.
Oh, beautiful, Shamsi.
JP Duminy in the dressing room there is the batting coach. You've got to work with people. It's not like you're telling them how to play, trying to change their technique, but you're working with them to get the best from them, to make them make the right decision, or help them make the right decisions under pressure.
Leslie.
154 for 2. Azad Williams, the one really convincing bowling performance, I'd say. Markram started, actually, his first over. He bowled his off breaks with a new ball in his first over, and he went for a single. We haven't seen him since his second over. But Williams, I heard Hash talking about that, hitting that length hard, and that's how he got Travis Head out, actually forcing a mistake, a missed drive to mid-on. Oh, that's a cracking hit. He got that one all right. Oh, he wants this done quickly, does Mitchell Marsh. He finished unbeaten on 92 2 nights ago. This is a thrilling display. Six fours, 6 sixes, a strike rate of 202. More than 2 a ball on his own. 71 he has from 35 balls. And only 5 needed for Australia to win the game. We're asking for a new ball here. They haven't returned the ball. Either that or it disappeared down the steps to the outer of the ground.
A display of brutal power, placement. I guess there's not much placement when the ball's going over the fielders for 6.
Defeat by 111 and probably 8 wickets in 2 matches. .361 days when he started out in the famous baggy green. Son of Jeff Marsh, of course, and brother of Sean, as he smokes it over extra cover. What a wonderful shot.
What a width again. Oh, he's just leant back, got the ball over extra cover. I know we've talked about the brute strength and the power, but you can't forget the timing that he's given. The ball's just been pinging off the bat like a rocket. So the power, the strength, the timing, it's like he's just got the flow with him. As some would say, the force is with him.
A simple single needed to win the match. 33 balls remain. Good stuff from Lungi Ngidi, but good stuff too late. At this stage, from the point of interest, South Africa were 110 for 6. Australia 164 for 2. Pity the crowd's dispersed. Pretty much a full house. A few people didn't come. Certainly all the tickets had been sold when we had rain just before play, but that is a captain's innings, and it is completed in fine style. Victory for Australia, a stunning margin, 8 wickets, 31 balls to spare, completely outplaying South Africa for the second game in succession, led by a favourite son of Australian cricket, and plenty for Aiden Markram and the coaching team to think about moving into the third game on Sunday.
Handshakes all around, but they'll be disappointed team, the Proteas. After losing the first game on